ever had your mechanic tell you your car isn't worth fixing anymore, or maybe that the repairs are going to exceed the value of the vehicle, this is what they mean. Behind me is a 1999 Toyota Camry that I just picked up for scrap price, and this is the perfect car for a video to depict why some of these cars just aren't worth fixing anymore, and well, a lot of it's due to living in a rust belt state. Let's go over the exterior, lift it up. I'll show you guys why you should probably not buy some of these old cars in this type of condition. Let's get to it. Now, one of the first things we can see are all the little noticeable dents and dings and all that stuff, which isn't the end of the world. What becomes the problem is things like this nature, rust. Rust will just destroy the cars. And in the rust belt, well, you're not going to get away from this. Everything they put on the roads and everything will eat your car, and what's on the outside is also on the inside. Look at this. Just chips away. Take this. Rust is just raining out of this car right here. And most importantly, check this out. If you look in the back here, we got a rust hole. You could see the ground from there. That's not good. So the history on this car was in the metro area, so it probably took a lot of abuse from other cars. You can see right here, this is like yellow paint. I don't know if they hit a barrier or maybe like a parking light or something like that. But also, being in the cities, you got things like mirrors getting knocked off, and you can see mismatched mirror. The bumper's been, I don't know, looks like it's been repaired a couple times and it's a different color. Scrapes on this mirror, and then the same thing on the rear back here, all rusty. And all this rust starts because the road grime sticks up in this thing and just eats it away. It just falls apart. It's the equivalent of a pretzel at this point. It just breaks in half. And from the untrained eye, when you see little rust spots like that, you might not think it's that bad, but the whole worry is the structural points of the car get rust, like the subframes and the cradles or whatever you call it. And once those start to disintegrate, then you have real safety concerns and structural issues. I will show you in just a minute. Now, the one thing about this car is it's a Toyota Camry. Even though it has 285,000 miles on it, as you can see, it still starts, runs, drives, does everything it's supposed to do. And that's just kind of a testament to Toyota, to be honest. I guess the belt squeaks too. But overall, the AC works, the heat works, the power steering works. Pretty much everything does still work in the car. It's just the rust and everything is just eating it away. So it's just really not worth putting the money into. And more of the bummer part, it's got a new battery, a new alternator. All the fluids are looking pretty dang good. And the engine isn't got a whole lot of leaks or anything like that. I know there's a little power steering hose leak, which is common with anything with high miles that really just looks like it's had just basic maintenance done. Now, anything with high miles can almost warrant that things have been replaced. You can see when people have touched things, like this clip just is in the wrong spot. This wiring looks like it's in the wrong spot. That doesn't look like the right bolt here. This bolt's missing here on the heat shield. There's just a missing nut on this stud right here. Things like air boxes. I guarantee this filter's probably never been changed. Oh yeah, look at that, dirty as can be. That looks like it's got a mouse nest in it. So lots of time there's obvious things when cars get this old and kind of this worn out. People don't want to stick any money into it, so all that stuff really does get neglected because, well, why put money into a car that you're just gonna kind of just throw to the wayside anyways? Which is understandable, and mechanics see this on the daily, to be honest. But if the engine and transmission and all that stuff's in good shape, what's the underside look like? Why can't we repair these cars? Or can we? Alright, now with the car in the air, I can show you where it gets a little sketchy on repairing anything that's old and rusty. And I'll just start with the small stuff. For example, brakes. They're kind of small, but they are most important to get your vehicle to stop, right? Well, the brake pads are basically metal on metal. It's kind of hard to see that in the wheel here. The struts have been replaced before. You can see with that little yellow tag, that's an aftermarket strut. Then you can see there's a little bit of blue. That's definitely like a Napa quick strut or whatever they used to call them. With 285,000 miles, shocks are ready to be replaced again. You have things like CV boots. Well, that thing's ripped wide open. So that needs to be replaced. Moving on to the back, look at the rear strut. The rear strut actually has a broken coil spring on it. Just like so, look at that, broken coil spring. Well, remember when we looked through the trunk? Well, here's the hole we talked about. And here's the rear subframe, look at this thing. Completely rusty, there's like almost like a hole ready to start there. This side is actually peeling away on the subframe. You got a heat shield just hanging down here. Somebody tried to repair this exhaust at one point and that didn't seal it up. The struts, the brakes, the axle, the exhaust leak, all that stuff could be repaired, you know, and it wouldn't be that difficult to do that kind of repair. But where it gets a little gray is the value of the car. Now, not a lot of people want to buy something with big dents in it and rust raining out of the thing. And so that really limits the market value of these type of cars, right? Sure, maybe you could have it and maybe this thing will last another 200,000 miles, which rightfully so. Toyota has kind of built that name for themselves to do stuff like that. But if you had parts, labor, and all that stuff kind of mixed in, I mean, tires are going to have to be replaced because they're starting to crack. So to make this thing safe with the rust, what are you going to do? Put a subframe in the thing? Probably not. And now that's where you get people going, your car just isn't worth fixing it. By the time you did struts and brakes and the axle, let's just say, you're probably in it just alone, $1,500 parts and labor. And then alignment, and then you need tires. I mean, you're talking about, I bet you'd be into it for $2,500, and then you still have a rusty subframe. And the whole reason they got rid of this thing to begin with is not because of those problems, because it was dying once it got hot. They thought it was some sensor, they had somebody look at it. But even at that point, it still isn't worth fixing one of these things. And this example is actually a little neutered. Usually cars are much worse than this, but by no means is this car any good, is what I'm getting at. I mean, just look at this bolt on the evap canister. It just looks like a mushroom of rust. Not good at all. So here's the takeaway. If you're buying a used car, or your car is starting to get real rusty like this one is, it's probably in your best interest to at least inspect the thing, even on your own, to just visualize the rust, if there's any rust holes in it, because once it gets to that point, it's just not worth fixing. Now, as to what I'm going to do to the car, I'll show you. I'm going to be using it as my new little trail beater. Reverse donut! Anyways, y'all, thanks for watching. Make sure you're looking at the cars you're gonna buy. Peace.